Hey, welcome back to Kult of Athena's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tom. Today we're looking at a new Kingston Arms side sword. This is the Spada de Lato. This is a Italian version of a side sword. Take a look at some specs, up close looks, and a little bit of movement. Okay, let's talk about first impressions with this side sword. Side swords were used 16th, 17th century as a military option that was a little bit beefier than a rapier. That's just the easiest way to put it. This is pretty much a rapier that can cut. It's a wider blade, so you can take more blade contact, especially if it was unequal weapons, not just sword to sword. If you had to go against spear, pike, and you had to make contact with something, or you just want something with a little bit more weight behind it and more juice behind it. So first impressions on this, very responsive in the hand. So this comes with a standard black wood cord leather wrapped scabbard with a steel piece on the front and a steel tip, so that way you know it's not going to go through the scabbard. You can fit that with a sword belt very easily. You can even get all that at cultofathena.com. Sword belt, sword frog, if you were looking to carry this for reenactments or for Renaissance fairs. So back to the sword. On the side sword, this is really just the best of both worlds of cut and thrust. Some distinct features of why it was used at the same time as the rapier being generally speaking more skinny and a lot longer for dueling and more civilian defense. This was more of a military tool. So we have the embellished handguard, we have the S-guard, which I'll give you a straight on view of, as straight on as I can get it. So we have the S-guard, we have the extra hand protection on the outside, and we also have extra hand protection on the inside. So you're really getting the hand protection of what you would see in other rapiers, even Italian rapiers as well. Although some of them have a shelf, some of them are more embellished and open like this. You're getting the best of both worlds. Some really good features on this one are really the point of balance and also just really how the grip feels. So when you're holding this out, if this is in a general extended position, the ability with your forefinger wrapping around the grip to go into small adjustments from inside to outside, outside to inside, to change the position of the hand with just by using a little bit of the wrist and the forearm. It's very responsive in the hand. That being said too, especially if you're looking at larger cuts, especially because it's a military item, so you're not only going to be holding extended thrust positions because you've got to cover your flanks. Also very responsive on large cuts as well, without overly fatiguing the hand. Some other side swords, perhaps in the past that I've done, they're beefy, but then they're not as responsive on thrust. And a lot of that has to do with the point of balance. That's more so than just the weight itself. It is really how this is balanced. This is coming with a threaded pommel, so the pommel is adjustable. There's no like screw on the back of it or anything, but this does thread out. It's a wood cord leather wrapped handle. It's a chunk of wood that you slide on here with the guard, and it just feels really good. Kingston Arms has some good stuff, responsive in the hand. If you're someone who is in a side sword and you are holding these extended positions, the responsiveness on parry, this responsiveness of changing elevation from thrust to cut back into thrust, can't really go wrong with that. All right, let's take a look at a little bit of movement with the Spada de Lato from Kingston Arms, moving through cut, thrust, and also through guard positions. Let's take a look. All right, so thanks for joining me for this review of the Kingston Arms Spada de Lato, this Italian military side sword. This one's available at cultofathena.com. It's got a great price point. It would be really, really fun to do cut testing with for how functional the edge is, and the point of balance is very responsive on thrust and also on cut. I'm your host, Tom, for Kult of Athena's YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more sword reviews coming soon every single month on this channel. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next review.